Morning lows dip below freezing from Chicago to New York City. And in the Mid-South, 30s and 40s mean a cold start in many of these communities, still cleaning up from the storm damage. Lindsay?
New meaning to those April showers. All right, Danny, thank you. Now to tonight's other big headline, the showdown in Tampa between two titans. The Connecticut Huskies defeating South Carolina for the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. The two biggest programs in the nation going head-to-head. This is UConn's 12th women's tournament title and the first since 2016. Here's ABC's Faith Abube. She was front and center for all the action on the court.
The final page in the book of Beckers is title number 12 for UConn.
Tonight, the UConn Huskies are national champions. The final in what was built as a heavyweight showdown between two of the nation's most dominating teams, a rematch of the 2022 championship, which South Carolina won.
Here's Beckers. Her jumper is good.
UConn overpowering South Carolina for most of the game as they lift their 12th national title, their first since 2016.
The lead is 30, and the freshman is thriving.
UConn senior star Paige Beckers, who will be joining the WNBA next year, finally reaching that elusive goal with her first championship.
The emotion pouring out of Paige Beckers as she hugs the entire UConn coaching staff.
The game was dominated by UConn senior AZ Fudd.
Up in the corner, Fudd, you bet!
With 24 points. And freshman forward Sarah Strong, who also dropped 24 points in a commanding performance. Coach Gino Auriemma emotional after the game.
And it's because these players make me want to hang in there every day.
Tonight, they're celebrating on the streets of Connecticut as the Huskies are bringing home their record 12th national title.
And Lindsay, with that commanding performance here in Tampa, the UConn women's team now holds the record among both men and women college basketball. All eyes now turning to Texas, where the men will play their final game tomorrow, Florida versus Houston. Houston getting into that final game after the dramatic upset over Duke last night. It'll sure be a fantastic game. Lindsay.
It sure will, and congrats to the Huskies, Faith. Thank you. The White House is standing firm on the president's sweeping tariffs. President Trump is urging Americans to hang tough as the administration says more countries are now ready to come to the negotiating table. Another round of tariffs is set for Wednesday. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
Tonight, President Trump defending his tariffs after the worst market sell-off since the pandemic and growing warnings of a possible recession.
What's going to happen with the market, I can't tell you, but I can tell you our country has gotten a lot stronger. And eventually, it'll be a country like no other. It'll be the most dominant country economically in the world.
The White House tonight vowing to hold the course on President Trump's sweeping tariffs.
There is no postponing. They are definitely going to stay in place for days and weeks. That is sort of obvious.
The president seen reading headlines about his escalating trade war and playing in today's senior club championship at one of his Florida golf clubs. Trump posting this video teeing off while urging Americans to hang tough, saying it won't be easy, but the end result will be historic. The administration now saying countries are looking to make a deal.
More than 50 countries have reached out to the president to begin a negotiation.
The president's baseline minimum 10% tariff on all countries that trade with the U.S. snapping into place over the weekend, and steeper reciprocal tariffs set to kick in later this week. Meanwhile, Americans watching their 401ks shrink, now bracing for higher prices on everything from groceries to furniture and electronics to cars. Some scrambling to make big purchases now. Rob Blackwell of Virginia deciding to sign a lease on a new car, saying the tariffs forced his hand.